Coming up next, an exclusive look at a new report on Catabus efficiency. What it shows might surprise you.
Plus, an event to support survivors of sexual assault.
Making sure people feel believed, they feel seen, they feel heard is definitely our goal here.
And the latest on Artemis moon mission that's captivated people around the world.
We're going back to the frickin' moon, that's why.
The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Julia Henry.
And I'm AJ Nemitz. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, a new report from the Center Documenters with help from the News Lab at Penn State, shows pretty surprising information about on-time performance and system reliability at Catabus. Reporter Jack Raczynski is live at CATA and State College. Jack, you got an exclusive access to the report?
I did, AJ. 28 documenters and News Lab journalists took 15 Catabus routes over 2 weeks in February, observing on-time performances and other metrics. The results show that there is a lot of room for improvement.
West College Avenue and Bristol Avenue.
The iconic red and white buses serving Center County are essential for people like Penn State student Jared Contaldi.
No, every day I end up taking the bus to classes.
But Contaldi says his travels have been plagued by delays.
There's been times where it says like, oh, it's arriving at like 11:42 and I'm rushing to get out of the house. I like forget something and then it's 11:50, the bus is still not here and it keeps updating and that's pretty annoying.
His complaints and frustrations are now backed by evidence. More than 24 journalists from the Center Documenters and News Lab by Penn State took 37 rides across 15 Catabus routes. They also surveyed more than 10 million GPS arrival and departure data points provided by CATA themselves over the past year.
Their analysis found 56% of those rides started late, just 28% were on time, and 4% of buses never showed up at all. The numbers vary by location. Buses arrived on time at a 79% rate in College Township on the Lamont Corridor route. On Penn State's campus, 30% of buses were on time. In State College Borough, it's 45%, but in Patton Township, it's only 15% on time. Penn State student Kate Hildebrandt was one of the documenters on the project. Her team found CATA riders simply learned how to navigate barriers rather than trust the buses.
It seems like CATA is not doing a lot to upkeep those bus stops and stuff as we get further out of State College and the university.
But she hopes these findings can result in heightened awareness or positive changes.
It's paid for by taxpayer money, so taxpayers should be able to rely on it.
Among other results, 12 of the documenters found that some drivers took mid-route breaks that also caused delays. The results will be sent to CATA themselves for review, and we'll have reaction from them afterwards. Reporting live in State College, I'm Jack Raczynski. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jack. A State College man whose murder conviction was overturned after he spent 43 years in prison is a step closer to freedom today. Subu Vedam has been detained by ICE since his release last fall on an old deportation order. But yesterday, a federal immigration judge ruled he can stay in the U.S. Vedam is 64 years old. He's in custody at a federal facility in Clearfield County. His family sent us a statement on the new developments. They said they're grateful the court finally afforded Subu justice, adding, quote, "We had dared to dream that this day would come," sharing Subu's belief that the truth would prevail. It's not yet clear when he might be released. The state and federal trials of Luigi Mangione and the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson have been delayed. A judge moved the state trial from June to September and the federal trial from September to October. Mangione's lawyers argued back-to-back prosecutions on a tight timeline would violate his rights. Police arrested him in Altoona days after the murder.
The investigation continues into a house fire that left 2 people dead in Spring Township. Fire crews responded to a home on Barger Lane last Saturday. After knocking down the flames, they found the 2 people dead inside. Officials say both victims died from smoke inhalation, but there's no word yet on the cause of the fire.
Road construction in Center County means several exits will be closed for 2 months on Route 322 and Interstate 99. The closures began this week and detours are in place. The work involves the right lane of 322 westbound near the Innovation Park exit and I-99 southbound near exit 61 in Port Matilda. The off-ramps for both exits are also closed till June.
A new student housing project is breaking ground in State College. A ceremony kicked things off for the Retreat on Westerly, a project that will add more than 500 units to the area. The neighborhood-style complex will feature townhomes, study spaces, and other amenities and is expected to be ready next year. And downtown State College has a new boutique opening this spring. Pattaya, a clothing store with accessories, targets college-age customers. The boutique is on East College Avenue, replacing the combined Auntie Anne's, Cinnabon, and Carvel store. Pattaya is set to open later this spring and will be the first location in Pennsylvania.
April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and on Penn State's campus, students and organizations are coming together to support survivors. Reporter Kate Howie has the story.
It's called Take Back the Night, a key event to kick off National Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Even if we feel like we don't know someone who's been directly affected, we absolutely have. We just might not know that we know them because it's not always talked about.
Penn State and Center County organizations are hosting events throughout April to support sexual assault survivors. This week, Lambda Theta Alpha partnered with Center Safe and the Our Voice Center to host Take Back the Night. The event began at Old Main, then moved through Penn State's campus as survivors and supporters walked together. Along the way, people shared their stories and listened.
You are not alone. The more that we break down the stigma, break down some of these barriers and have these conversations is really going to allow a space for individuals to come forward and really share what happened to them.
Center Safe isn't just there to raise awareness, but also to encourage people to take action. For many, this is more than just a night of awareness. It's a space to share their own stories.
I recognize how important the impact of the event is. I did share a story in my first year, and ever since then I've always wanted to be super involved with the philanthropy and everything.
And while it's just one event, the message continues throughout the month. Center Safe and the Our Voice Center will host more events to support survivors and continue the conversation.
Making sure people feel believed, they feel seen, they feel heard is definitely our goal here.
In State College, I'm Kate Howie for the Center County Report.
This year also marks milestones for both groups, 50 years for Center Safe and 40 years for the Our Voice Center. Their next event is a concert in the Freeman Auditorium at Penn State tomorrow.
America's first mission to the moon in more than 50 years continues today. The Artemis astronauts are making good progress on their trip. Reporter Kira Cannon is live in our studio with more. Kira?
AJ, this moon mission is expected to last around 10 days. Last night, the crew did the last major engine firing of the mission. That burn sent the Orion spacecraft on a direct path to the moon for its flyby. The Artemis rocket and its crew lifted off on Wednesday night from Kennedy Space Center, marking humanity's first crewed trip to the moon since 1972. Thousands watched the spectacular launch in person, and millions more watched on TV. The spaceship won't actually land on the moon, but fly around it and back to Earth. The mission is expected to travel further than any human ever has, breaking the Apollo program's distance record, and that has people very excited.
We're going back to the frickin' moon, that's why. We're sending a woman, a person of color, and a Canadian to the moon, and we're sending a manned spacecraft, the farthest we've ever sent a spacecraft before.
The Artemis II mission is a key step toward NASA's goal of returning astronauts to the moon by the end of the decade and eventually sending humans to Mars. I'm Kira Cannon reporting. Back to you.
Thanks, Kira. Still to come on the Center County Report. Will egg hunts be indoors or outdoors for Easter? We checked the weekend weather forecast.
And an Altoona woman makes history with her liver. Also, coming up, get out your fishing rods because trout season is here. See what Pennsylvania is doing to lure more young people to fishing as a hobby. An Altoona woman who became the oldest organ donor in state history has died at the age of 97. Margaret Fields, known as Peggy, donated her liver to a woman in her 60s shortly before Peggy died. Fields was known for her lifelong commitment to volunteering at organizations across the state.
Tomorrow marks the start of Pennsylvania trout season. I went to Huntington County to check out Youth Trout Day and how it prepares kids for fishing season today and in the future.
This one's a brookie, and this one's a brookie.
For these young anglers, today is all about first. And for many across Pennsylvania, this day has been marked on their calendar for months. Opening day of trout season is finally here. For some families, it begins a week earlier with Mentored Youth Trout Day. It's a statewide program designed to get kids hooked on fishing.
It gets them out here, outside, doing something other than looking at a screen.
At its core, the program is about mentorship, passing down not only skills, but an appreciation for the outdoors. Jen Moore's program featured things like hands-on help by the water and a scavenger hunt that gets them exploring and learning about trout and their habitat.
Here we get, kids and families out to looking at things, so they're actually going out and looking for these boxes that we put out, and they have to look around. If they're looking at a screen, they're not going to find them.
While opening day draws anglers from all over, events like Mentored Youth Trout Day are making sure the next generations are included too, because it's not just about what they're catching out there. It's about building confidence, connections, and a lasting admiration for nature.
Some are already having success.
I am fishing for trout, and we've caught two brook trout so far.
And while the focus may be on the catch, it's the lessons learned along the way that keep this program going.
Just hearing that they enjoyed the program and they were outside doing something and, thanking us for doing it.
Opening day means a fresh stock of 3.2 million fish are in streams, rivers, and lakes around the state. An annual license will run PA residents $28 and non-residents $61. The required trout stamp is an extra $15. So how's the weather look for fishing an Easter weekend? Here's Filippo with the forecast.
And we'll be reeling in the warmth this weekend. Taking a look right now at Beaver Stadium. A few hints of blue in the sky right now, but mainly overcast, looking over Beaver Stadium and the ongoing construction, which football will be played there later this month. 54 degrees right now in State College, starting to see some peaks of sunshine. 50 degrees our dew point, so it might be a little sticky as you're stepping out this afternoon, but the warmth is not that far away. Just off to our west, getting close to the 70s already in Johnstown, but a huge difference across the Commonwealth right now. 48 in Allentown, 74 in Erie, and this warmth from the west will be intruding across the entirety of the Commonwealth for this weekend. Here's our almanac. We typically expect a high of 54 and a low of 34 this time of the year, but we're going to blow that out of the water today. A forecasted high of 73 and a forecasted low of 58. Right now across the Commonwealth, some fading showers in eastern Pennsylvania, but the clouds are continuing to hang tough. But off to our west, another storm system is gearing up across the central United States. This storm system that brought in some showers this morning and last night brought some severe weather. Another round of severe weather is expected in the Central Plains today, and we could see some rumbles even here in State College. Timing this all out for us, a couple downpours, maybe some rumbles of thunder around 10:15 tonight. But as this starts to slide 2 hours south, we're expecting another round of some showers, maybe some downpours as we head into the early morning hours of Saturday. This is around 7:40 a.m. As a warm front pushes out, we'll start to see some sunshine. That does bring the opportunity for a few rumbles of thunder and some few heavy downpours at times. Then a cold front will start to move through for your Easter Sunday. We're expecting about 1/4 of an inch of rain here in State College through Monday morning, and that's because of this cold front that will be draping through the Commonwealth Easter Sunday morning, bringing some heavier showers, maybe a few downpours, maybe a few rumbles of thunder as well. Once that moves through, some clearer skies, but also a colder regime, and that allows for some snowflakes possible by Tuesday morning into the early afternoon. So that's a day to watch right now, but as we get into Wednesday and Thursday of next week, we are expecting some clearing skies. So for today, 73 our high, some afternoon rumbles of thunder possible. Southerly winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour as we step into tonight. 58 degrees our low. Thunderstorms and downpours possible. Southwesterly wind at 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we step into tomorrow, a beautiful day in between the showers in the morning and rumbles in the afternoon. 79 degrees, potentially even 80 in some spots. A southerly wind at 5 to 10 miles an hour. And your 7-day forecast, Easter Sunday, a high of 58 and a low of 55. And looking like a beautiful weekend to get out and enjoy.
Yeah, I'm hoping the rain stays away, so that way when I have an Easter egg hunt with my cousins, we can do it outside preferably.
Yep. Definitely. I can't wait till later next week when hopefully we can finally put away these winter coats for good.
Absolutely.
Now to Ashley with sports.
Thanks, Julia. Coming up in sports, we have the latest updates from Penn State football spring practice and details on Blue-White weekend. Plus, State High baseball takes on undefeated Chambersburg in a nail-biter. That story and more sports are next. I'm Ashley Mascaro with sports. The Nittany Lions football team continues spring practice this week. Head coach Matt Campbell has been emphasizing the importance of communication in practice as the team continues to adjust to a lot of new faces. The Nittany Lions quarterback depth took another hit as quarterback Alex Mansky will miss spring practice with an injury. With Rocco Becht already limited, practice has provided the opportunity for quarterback Connor Berry to get reps on offense.
Honestly, Connor Berry, he's come in and he's really done a great job. I probably been the surprise so far of like 4 days of practice, just his ability to get quality reps. And, I think we were really excited when Connor decided to come here. In all those situations, there's a silver lining. And I think Connor getting those quality reps, some of these young guys getting the opportunity to get in and execute the offense has been really positive for all of us.
Spring practice wraps up with Blue-White Weekend events on Saturday, April 25th at Beaver Stadium. This year, it'll be an open practice format. Admission is free and practice starts at 1 p.m. The Nittany Lions also added their first 3 2027 football recruits this week. 3-star rated players Samaje Robinson from Florida, Zachary Gleason from Pittsburgh, and Kayron Caesar from New Jersey announced their commitments to Penn State on Instagram. To high school baseball now, State College is on a 3-game winning streak and is 3-1 on the season after a 7-6 win yesterday at Cedar Cliff. It's been a busy week for the Little Lions. They also used a rare combined 2-hit shutout on Tuesday to take down unbeaten Chambersburg. Mia Tricarico was there.
State College walked away with a hard-earned win on Tuesday after a painfully close game against Chambersburg. In a classic 1-0 pitchers duel at Community Field, the Little Lions proved one run is plenty when your defense is locked in. Rowan Walker set the tone early with 5 dominant innings, but the pressure didn't let up when the bullpen took over. Left-hander Cody Norman stepped in to seal the shutout, attributing the team's success to a disciplined wartime mentality instilled by Coach Dan Fravel.
We kind of just have the mentality of faceless opponents. We come in ready to go to war every single day, so it doesn't really matter who we're playing. We're ready no matter what.
Finding an offensive spark has been a challenge early this spring, but Fravel says Tuesday's second inning breakthrough is a chance to push confidence in a young roster.
But I have more belief in them right now than they have themselves. And if today doesn't prove to them that they can do it and run the table and play with anybody, they should really believe now.
Chambersburg quickly moved runners into scoring position in the fourth, but State High responded with a defensive clinic. The Little Lions offense put pressure on the Trojans, consistently putting the ball in play to keep the defense on its toes. 1 run was all it took as they won the game 1-0. In State College, I'm Mia Tricarico for the Center County Report.
The Little Lions' next game is Monday at home against Mechanicsburg. Also on the baseball diamond, Hollidaysburg is off to a 5-0 start, winning all 3 games this past week. The Golden Tigers scored 22 runs on the week and shut out 3 opponents. A 10-0 run rule win on Monday against Penn's Valley was capped by a Nathan Phillips walk-off double. The Golden Tigers are 4-0 in conference play, but they play the undefeated Bellefonte Red Raiders next Wednesday. Penn State women's volleyball will play an outdoor match at Chicago's iconic Wrigley Field in September. Instead of playing in Cozy Rec Hall, the Nittany Lions will face Kentucky September 6th as part of a doubleheader in the inaugural Big Ten SEC Challenge. It'll be the first time ever that volleyball will be played at Wrigley. So guys, this is a huge deal for the women's volleyball team. What are your thoughts on them heading to the Windy City to make history?
Well, first the hockey team got to play outside. Now the volleyball team gets to do the same thing. It's going to be really exciting.
Definitely. And Wrigley, such an iconic, historic stadium. So it'll be super exciting to see what that's like as well. Thanks, Ashley. Now, coming up, it's the end of an era in downtown State College after more than a half-century in business. Find out more after the break. A State College businessman is closing his final store after 51 years in retail. But reporter Owen Camaros said he isn't sad about it. It's just time for a new adventure.
I'm going to miss being in the retail business.
Art Fine has owned 5 businesses in downtown State College over 51 years. But he'll close his last store, Barefoot and Metro, on May 31st.
How lucky can one guy be to be surrounded by youth, surrounded with kids that keep me young in mind and in spirit.
Barefoot and Metro is the latest small business to close downtown. Fine couldn't agree on a new lease. He says rent prices, COVID, and online shopping have made it tough for small businesses to stay afloat.
My biggest competitor for the UGG brand of footwear is UGG.com. My biggest competitor for Birkenstock is Birkenstock.com.
This is what Downtown State College looked like 51 years ago when Art Fine first went into business. He's built a legacy that stretches generations.
I've had terrific people work for me over the years, and they come back, they introduce me to their husbands. Then they come back, they introduce me to their kids. And before you know it, those kids are ready to go to school.
Riley Veneta has only worked at Barefoot for a year. Her connection to Fine spans decades.
He knew my grandpa and stuff. Like, my grandpa used to have a shop downtown and stuff, so then we had to sit and talk about my grandpa for like 30 minutes.
Fine says in his upcoming free time he wants to focus on making art and volunteering. Even though he turned 77 this year, he has no plans to slow down.
And I'm going to work my ass off to try not to become the guy who sits down in front of a TV watching a Netflix series and falls asleep during episode 3 and wakes up at episode 8.
In State College, I'm Owen Camaros for the Center County Report.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us next Friday for another local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good weekend.